I love my grief. I love grief. It's like so soft in a way, I feel like in the womb it expands my heart for more love, for more
Yeah.
beauty,
Yeah.
vulnerability. Oh, grief is so beautiful.
Welcome, Ingula. Today we have a deep dive conversation, I will say, with Ingula, who is a traditional midwife from Lithuania. And we met at the Spirit Fest in Bali,
Mhm.
and we just really resonated with one another. And I'm really honored to have you here and just to dive into birth and death and rebirth
And Redeath.
and re-death and all of the things. I know that this is a time where many of us are feeling this rebirth energy, and parts of us are dying to the old ways we used to be. And look, there's a grief in that, and we're exploring new ways of living and what that means. And
Mm.
our systems are crumbling, and there's this feeling of uncertainty and, like I said, grief, and how to navigate these times. And we'll dive into the midwifery and the importance that sacred act of consciously birthing our children into this world, and how that is so much, I believe, a part of this new world that we're creating, is bringing that consciousness to all aspects of life, especially birth. So welcome, Ingela. And we just had a conversation just briefly before we hit record where you lost your cat in a really sad circumstance. And so you're literally in grief right this moment.
In the moment, literally.
Yeah. So
And all my family also,
mm,
is a lot of I'm sorry, you go on.
no,
Maybe
go ahead, please.
I just talked to my son, and and they saw some things before and had the idea maybe it's not good how she looks like, the cat, and then he pushed away that thought that, oh, probably she just got cold because she was like all shaky. And there's a lot of blame also that I should have done something earlier, or I should
Mm,
notice, but sometimes it's just you cannot do anything, and we're not
mhm,
gods, and
mhm,
everybody has their own fate. And this little cat, it was beautiful soul actually, and very young, very beautiful soul. But I'm, as you said before, like I'm trying to find the light in the death also.
mhm, mhm,
And that mantra that I had in my head when I was traveling, I went to the nature, just completely to the nature. I was there for 2 days walking 40 kilometers just a few days ago,
wow.
and sleeping in the nature alone,
Mm,
surrounded by nobody, just nature and plants and animals in a national
mm,
park. And I had this mantra all the time while I was walking: don't be afraid of death. It will bring new hundreds of new possibilities, hundreds of new life. And when I saw the tree, which like the mother tree, fell down like dead tree, just around that tree were million of little children. So I was like, okay, look at that. She's still feeding. It's not the death, like it's finished. She's feeding a new generation. It was like the kindergarten all over that tree. And it was beautiful. I rebirthed myself in a way, in
I
that.
remember you said, I saw the text message you said, because we were just kind of waiting, we know, for the right time for this conversation that we agreed to have in Bali that felt really right. And you said, yeah, we were both, I was riding the waves too. Things were kind of wavy since being back. And you said, yeah, I had this rebirth in the forest. And what an amazing thing that you had that mantra coming through. It's almost like we have that support or that little vision or that little intuition that is kind of preparing us for something that's going to happen. And then we can either have the interpretation that I did something wrong and I made a mistake, or, oh, there's a lesson here, or there's some growth here. Like you said, the tree falling down. And I hear Sharon, who was a founding member of this and has passed. And she was a very gracious woman. I've told you some stories of her in Bali, but she would always say, you have to find the gift in my death. And she practiced the same thing. She lost her daughter at 2 days old and had lost her mother when she was 14. And she learned on her journey that every death there's gifts, there's many gifts. And I really honor that. And I think it's beautiful that you're still willing to have this conversation, even though it literally just happened an hour ago. And I hear this a lot in the collective. Like, we're all navigating some really challenging times right now. And how do we just keep showing up, like in our leadership, or just in our rawness, in our humanness, and just let our hearts keep staying open and talk and have these conversations. And it's so interesting, I titled this conversation Rebirth. And we were having these conversations in Bali a lot because I've had this remembrance of some of my death doula gifts from the past. And of course, you being a midwife. And then we ended up randomly running into a fellow doula, birth doula. And we had these really powerful...
A fresh baby
fresh
birth doula.
baby birth doula. Yeah. A young woman, really beautiful. And I've been fascinated. I've thought of death. I've a stellium, Scorpio stellium. So I'm just like death and rebirth all day, every day. I love that we're just talking about it. And I know that many people watching this are in some period of grief, whether it's you lost someone to death, or you're just grieving your old self and a version of yourself. And actually, when I met you, you were in that place. You were doing grief workshops at the Spirit Fest. And I wonder, even like when you work with mothers who are birthing their children, in a way, they would be grieving the version of them that was free without being a mother. And I don't know if you want to
Definitely, yes.
speak to that at all.
Yes.
But
You know
yeah.
what I would go first to. I just had a few days ago a woman that is actually, how do you say that in English now? She can't have kids. 11 years. All the tests are perfect. Her tests are perfect. Husband's tests are perfect. But 11 years, there's no children. And, this is also the same topic that I was talking to her. I said, you have to die as you are now at this moment to be able to reborn yourself in a new version. And you have to make completely different decisions that you did before, because obviously they don't work. Yeah. So the thoughts that you have, no, I will not go through the medicine world, for example, no? I will not have that part. I will not do this. You're living in the box. You just, I don't know, put yourself in the frame, and you don't move. So you have to just kill that part, I know it might be very scary because you have to kill something. But this is the only way. You have to die as you are, as you picture
As you
yourself,
perceived yourself to be, yeah.
to be able to reborn in a completely different version.
Yeah,
So I was
exactly.
talking with her a lot about this, and this is everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Every time you go to bed in the evening, it's a little death.
Yes.
You have to let yourself die to regenerate the stem cells, to regenerate your liver, to regenerate your body for next morning. And then be curious. Oh my God, what
Yeah,
this life will bring me, what gifts it will bring me, no?
exactly.
Such a beautiful journey. But we are afraid.
Yes.
We are so afraid. The society is like it's this shadow. It's like it's everything. All this is in the shadow. The birth, the death. So you're not allowed to even think about it. It's the wrong thing. No, it's not wrong.
No. Yeah, I used to have such a fascination and fear and terror around death. And I think it was so much attributed to at least our culture here in the West. I'm in Canada, like you just don't talk about it. And then when somebody does die, it's this very, very heavy, sad. You wear black,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember I was in India in my young 20s and staying by the Ganges River in Varanasi and watching them burn the bodies
Having
but
party.
watching them have a party with flowers and music and then gift the body back to the earth, and it just was a such a beautiful moment in my life, and it gave me this passion of I want to be a part of changing the story, back in my culture about this, and then have gone on this journey and met a woman who was on her journey of dying, and for her to have such that attitude herself and not to fear it. And of course at times she would have it's that ego that's like, no, I need to survive, and I need to fight to live. And there's a soft stillness behind all that that actually is not afraid. And it's so interesting because we're sort of talking about this like old world hospitalization, how births happen, but also how deaths happen.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going in and out of the hospital on her cancer journey. And when she would be in the hospital, in the walls of the hospital, she would feel the fear of the doctors, of the people, going in and out of emergency. And and then we put her in a hospice near the end, and it was a really beautiful place. There were deer outside the window, and just people in a full acceptance of the cycle of our journeys. And the morning she died, she called us and she said, I've I have peace. Like I'm not afraid. Like I realized like in that environment of fear, she would attach to the fear and let that would run through her body. I mean, she was very compromised with drugs and everything.
Mm.
Otherwise, she was a very, strong woman. And so put in the right environment, she was able to really surrender and find peace and even joy in her last days. And I know we've had conversations, the same thing with birth. Like women have been so conditioned to fear the birthing process and not really trust that their bodies know how to, their bodies and the baby knows how to
Oh
come
yes,
into
that's
this
such a
world.
beautiful natural intelligence. And
Hmm.
I'm keep on reminding mothers that, it's funny how we don't sit and think how the baby now should make his own heart, or how the baby should build his own eyeball on hand, and little fingers, little nails. They do everything themselves. We don't sit and we don't control that process.
No,
And suddenly, when the baby is all developed in the uterus, we suddenly find out that we can control the birth, the process, but we don't control the conception, we don't control the pregnancy, And suddenly at the end, we have full control. We are the gods here.
Yeah.
It's really interesting when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And that's circling back to what we were talking about, like parts of us have to die because we've been so conditioned in a box, like you said, with all these beliefs and the right way of doing things, and
Mm.
even this homogenized way of being that we should all somewhat be the same, when like we're all so unique and we all have our own rhythm and we all have our own timing. And it's really interesting leading up to this conversation. And I've been yesterday, just before seeing this baby snake, I was with Tim and I was talking about Flow Network, this vision that I've had for, I'm going to say 10 years, but in some ways it feels like it's just my whole life, and it's just kind of the essence of who I am. And getting out of, because it has no box, like flow, there's no box.
Yeah.
And
No
it's a
box.
very, yeah, yeah, exactly, there's absolutely no box, but having a vision that's out, like way outside of a box, but I'm still existing in here. Of course, this version of me has to die so that I can fully
Expand.
allow and expand this and live this vision that is coming to me. And I was remembering sharing with you, like, how I use the word have thrown this vision away, but really you can't throw away your destiny. You can't throw away who you really are, but you can only resist it. And resisting it kind of feels safe for me to say, like, oh no, let me go back into a box and just try to fit into somebody else's path. That feels easier or something, but it's not. And I was thinking of you because when we had this conversation, like, you never set out to become a traditional midwife. It was something that was sort of presenting to you, wouldn't you say? That's what I recall from the conversation. And it's that thing that comes in that we sort of want to resist. That's how we know that's where we're meant to go.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying to this mother that want to conceive and she can't conceive for 11 years. That was exactly the same. Yeah.
Getting
I said,
chills.
well, do whatever feels like you don't want to do. Just do that.
Yes,
This is the key. This is the
exactly.
key.
It's so true. I made this video a little while back about purpose, because I used to put so much pressure on myself about, like, what's my purpose? Like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And what I've come to learn is the simplicity of a purpose is you lean into the thing you fear. Like, you lean, that's where you go. It comes, you fear it, you resist it, you lean right into it. And that's another thing that we haven't been taught. Like, we're sort of taught to, like, either numb
Run
out the
away.
fear, run away, yeah, or project it onto something else externally. And that's a big part of the rebirthing, is to be like, okay, I have to confront these things finally, and I have to meet these things and merge with these things.
Yes.
And so Tim did this really helpful exercise with me, and I'm just thinking of it now relative to what you're sharing with this woman about, because I think, how beautiful is it that here we are. I'm like, this conversation is going to be about rebirth. We have a death doula and a midwife here having a conversation about rebirth. And so basically you create this is my journal I'm doing with Flow Network. I don't know if you can see it, but you write out your old who and then new who, and just make a column. And then you write out your old why and your new why.
Beautiful.
And then you write out your old how and your new how. And maybe I'll make a separate video on this, because I don't want to, turn this into a teaching or anything. But it's such a good exercise to realize. And what we've sort of thought about that, like starting with who, we work our way down to figure out those steps, where in the new world it comes from the bottom up. It's something that grows just like the little sprouts on the under that tree, and we
Yeah.
just have to surrender to that yeah, the what of what's being presented in our every now moment experience of life, which is
Yeah,
just
like
such a different
stop
way.
resisting also, you know, we consciously resisting our happiness and our growth.
Mhm.
This is what I feel sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Why, in your experience, why do you think we resist that? What have been some of the barriers or blocks in your life?
I think that's not in our nature naturally, but it's just built in like in the social somehow, you know, it's
Mm,
because I think naturally we're quite wild.
yeah. So
When
true.
you really like get into conversation with nature and you understand that you are nature yourself also, it's relaxed and wild.
Yeah.
It's not blocking any growth. Like it just grows. It has a possibility. Be flexible, you know, like oh, there's a stone and I'm a little proud. Oh, there's a stone. But if I'm like flexible and I want to do the change, I don't block my growth. I
Yeah.
will just go
I'll just
over.
grow around.
Yeah.
Yes. Love that. Yeah. That's a great metaphor. And it's so
And we
true.
are naturally like that. But we're just, you know, in that cave somehow. We put ourselves in the cave. We put ourselves with our own hands because it should be this way.
Yeah.
Somebody said it has to be this way,
Yeah.
but it's not our nature.
No. Yeah. The other thing that I hear too is, and I know that you align with this because I see on your social media the importance of, you were recently doing a ceremonies for men, because we do these. I mean, some people don't have any ceremonies whatsoever. We have the mainstream kind of ceremonies of like maybe getting married or birthdays or that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
like the ceremony of what tribes used to do. You know, when the young boy is becoming a man, they send him out into the forest, just like you went out into the forest, and you have that intention set of like, okay, now you're starting a new version of yourself. And I loved when you shared that in your tradition that there's a ceremony for naming the children
Yes.
after the baby is born. And then there's a ceremony for the mothers to, I don't know what you call it, but when to just honor the fact that, okay, the mother has been in a season of being pregnant and now the baby is out. So in a way, she needs to die to that version of herself, and they have a bath, I think it is. Is that correct?
Yes, I can tell you. In the closing the bone ceremony after birth, it's Mexican tradition.
Okay, cool.
But I'm quite sure that it was in a lot of cultures
Mm,
before, but it just died out.
mm,
In Lithuania, we have the blessing ceremony for the pregnant woman. So
mm,
it's not the baby shower as we have it like in the States usually. It's more for the mother to give blessings and to give all the beautiful ideas and thoughts and embroidering her best
mm,
way of giving birth of the girlfriends in the birth t-shirt. So they wear that t-shirt and they've been washed and the hair been brushed and you know all the blessings that could have
mm,
a mother to become in the birthing journey. And then after the birth, yes, we have this amazing ceremony of giving the name for a child. And for me, it's one of the most beautiful
Mm.
treasures. And I'm going again to the giving the name ceremony on this Sunday. I've been on Saturday, now on Sunday. You
Mm.
know, summertime is a beautiful time for that. But originally, it used to be after 6 weeks after the birth, like 40 days, you know, this
Hmm.
magical 40 days after birth also.
Hmm.
And after death, it's
Hmm.
really interesting. But you could really see on the newborn, before that, they are in between somewhere space still. They don't focus
Mm.
even the eyes. They don't really look into your eyes. And after
Mm.
40 days, we called it awakening. They
Wow.
awaken to the world. So this is the time where you can really see the name of the person
Hmm.
and show a person to the community.
Wow. Wow, that's really special.
Yes, that's really beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, I love so that it's closing of the bones. That
And
that was the Mexican.
closing the bones is the Mexican. Also at the same period, usually it's happening after 40 days after the birth.
Mm.
40 days also takes uterus to clean, to stop
Mm.
bleeding. 40 days also the ceremony of closing the bones, of the giving the name. It's
Mm.
so interesting, these 40 days.
Wow. Hmm. That is very interesting. And just to clarify, the closing of the bones is that for that's the piece that the mother is saying, okay, now the pregnancy is complete. I'm moving into a new phase. Yeah.
Yes, it's also in a way it's like saying thank you to your body. It's
Mm.
more like praying and saying thank you to the body that it did all this beautiful job, and now you're a mother of whatever children, and yes.
Wow. That just gives me chills because one of my intentions for going to Bali, where we met, was to thank my body for getting me here. And I had this momentum because I don't have children. I don't plan on having children. I don't believe that's my karma this life. But Flow Network sort of feels like a baby in some ways. It's birthing a vision. And I had such clarity coming through and such momentum and such excitement getting it out there just before Bali. And so my big intention was I'm going to go to Bali and I'm going to thank my body for getting me here because it's a journey to expand, like to get out of the box
Yeah.
and dare to be different, right? And so I stayed in a place that was right by a river with the intention to go into the waters of Bali and give that rebirth to myself.
Yeah.
And then I met you and you're telling me about the ceremony and it just resonated so deeply with me to say, okay, there needs to be a deeper letting go of for me to say like, okay, it's out there. I've done that part. And now just like a mother with her children, it's like letting them become like, I don't own Flow Network. The mother doesn't really own the children
Mhm.
and knowing it's this kind of co-creative journey and dance to nurture like what and listen what it's becoming. So I really, really, really loved that. And we went to the ocean to go snorkeling and I decided like I'm gonna just have that closing of the bones of my own version in the ocean and
But actually
yeah.
closing the bones, it's works beautifully to a man also, to a woman, doesn't matter to what person.
Yeah.
Also in the way of the loss and the grief. I had an amazing experience with the family that lost their child, and after
Mm.
3 days after the loss, we did the closing the bone ceremony for both of them, for mother and the father. I can't tell you how strong it was.
Oh.
And we really do need that closure sometimes physically, like now this is, thank you for what was happening. I need to reopen myself for a new life.
Mm.
And this is what in the closing the bow ceremony, usually the prayers is about that.
Mm.
Thank you for this, what was happening to me. And I'm open. I'm closing what was happening to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm opening for a new version, for a new life, for better life, for more expanded life.
Mm.
So it's really working amazingly for both parents,
Yeah.
for all the people,
Yeah.
whatever loss or grief or relationship they have.
Yeah.
It's it's something special. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very special. And I think it's so important and so needed. I just was speaking with a man yesterday, and especially here in the West, but I think it's the same in a lot of cultures, like the men just learning to deal with the emotion because they've been so taught to be like the strong one, and not even being able to talk to his wife about how he's feeling because he doesn't want to, whatever in his mind thinks he can't share how he's really feeling, that
That's again
he's
living in the box that somebody put you in.
yeah,
And not
it's
really
painful.
listening. What is your intuition talking?
Mhm.
Also, I was talking to my son today about this cat lost, and he
Mm.
was blaming himself. I saw she was not good in the morning when I was going to school, but then I said, oh, to myself, no, maybe she just cold. She was outside for all night and she was shivering from cold.
Mm.
But my first thought was that something is wrong and maybe I should tell you, Mom.
Mm.
But then I pushed that thought away. But that was the real intuition. That was the
Mm.
real thing that we have to catch it.
Yeah.
And then we get again into that box. No, 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 no. I'm not worth. I'm not good enough. I'm nothing. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm not allowed.
I'm not
Yeah, who am
allowed.
I? Yeah, who am I to get out of the box or to think these things or to whatever?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's so
yeah.
sad.
It is. But it's so human, and it's
Yes.
so what I see all over. So I'm getting chills through this whole conversation. I have a candle here, and it just
Oh,
at times is
beautiful.
just like sparking, and
Sparkling.
yeah, yeah.
Energy is going through.
Yeah, the
Very
energy
good.
is really going through. It's such a powerful conversation to have these ceremonies and to realize that we're rebirthing in really big ways. And
Yeah, because ceremonies actually brings you into rebirth. It's a tool. It's a
Mhm.
tool to get into rebirth. And everybody has different tools, but I think the ceremonies of the community is super powerful.
Mm.
And they do work. They do work. That's why they are here for generations and generations and generations, because they work. All the
Yeah.
traditions, if they are, some of them, they died, of course, but if they didn't die, it's because they are working.
Yes. Yes. Well said. Yeah, and I think there's such like we're so isolated. There's such a need for connection with our humanity and to come together in those intentional environmental spaces. And like I wonder if there's anybody listening to this and feels alone, to just
Disconnected.
then disconnected. Have a ceremony to find a community. And I think I can speak for myself when I've been really in a challenging time is like not being able to receive, not to be able to receive actual love and support because maybe a version of my box was like I'm not supported for being me, and that receiving is really challenging from that space to receive that love and support and connection from other people. It's a level of vulnerability that can be really scary.
But that's what brings you to the change again,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what brings you out of the box, and that's what brings you to rebirth
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because you get this um inspiration and the power, empowering
Mhm.
from your community, you know, through the
Yeah.
ceremony. They
Yeah.
empower you that you are beautiful, that you are able. And sometimes
Yeah.
we're like in that own box of our own soul, we don't see how beautiful we are. I keep on thinking about the same thing, and I think this is beautiful idea, so I want to share.
Yes, please.
I always think about, or we think about a little plant, and his powerful gifts, medicinal gifts that gives to us when we take it, if we need that, no? So there's so many beautiful and medicinal plants, and they have such a power in this little creature that has so much sense, so much connection with the land. And we are the most diverse ecosystem on this planet. So how powerful and medicinal we are for ourselves.
Yes.
And when
Yes.
you have a community that reminded you that,
Mhm.
don't forget you are powerful, you are strong, you are medicine of yourself. This is magic.
This is. It really is.
So with
That's
our thoughts, we can heal ourselves. With our thoughts, we can make ourselves sick. And
yes.
usually we make ourselves sick. And when we have a reminder that we are able to do the opposite, we can make ourselves healthy the same way. But we just don't do that because we forget that we are capable.
Yeah.
So
It's
never
so
forget,
true.
never
Never.
forget you are able to rebirth. It's millions of possibilities of yourself to choose the reaction into yourself. I mean, I don't know how to explain that in English. Sorry for my poor English.
No, no, it's
Natural
perfect.
Lithuanian.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's such a powerful reminder, and when we are get stuck in our box, it's so easy to go into the
Loop.
spiral of the loops,
Mm.
and we need others. We need to be in the community to actually really see ourselves and to be reminded, and and just to be reminded of the magic, the power that we are as a human being, and what
Human
we can.
medicine.
Yeah, human medicine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, human medicine. I wanted to dive in a little bit about your work or your craft, or I'm not sure the appropriate word to even describe what it must be like to be in presence of a woman just naturally in a beautiful space, allowing a being to come through her, and what that must feel like. Like, how do you feel that changed you? I mean, I think you've done 400 births. From what I remember around there, 400 births. Like, what has it taught you?
Oh my goodness. I'm living. I'm just constantly living on in the connection and in the trust of nature.
Oh,
Like if I would not trust the nature, the design of the nature, it would be so hard to do this work. But I
yeah.
do trust. And of course, sometimes you have to be conscious and not to trust too much. Because sometimes, yes, you have to throw yourself in and do some things for the baby to come out into this world and be healthy and be happy and, you know, to welcome here. Sometimes you have to put your hands on. It's not always you have to sit on your hands and to have hands off. Sometimes but you know what I feel more? It's like to restore some things or just make a space for the baby to come. It's not like you intervene by doing something, you know, wrong. You just basically make a space or restore the natural flow.
I love that.
And then you give it back to the nature. You know, you just remove the obstacle. If, for example, it's again the sprout and it's a really heavy big stone, it might be difficult for him to come out. Even he might be like really cool and healthy and capable and, you know, flexible. But if the stone is really big, sometimes it's nice to remove that.
Right. Right.
So it teaches me a lot about trust, but also in conscious action and in connection with the nature together, working in the collaboration, working together. And it's again about connection a lot. Listening, connect, work together. You are like, you know, one piece of communication.
Beautifully said. I just, it's just a perfect metaphor for how an adult human can rebirth themselves, is just create space, which is hard for some people to do, to value space, because we're so busy doing and feel like we have to be productive, and we're
Yeah.
so busy with so many distractions. It's like, okay, no, first you have to create space, remove the rocks, like remove the rocks being a metaphor for the stories that keep you in the box. And
There's no space for you to move if there's
no,
full of rocks
yeah,
and
so
obstacles and some things that you collected, you know.
yeah.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, we
It's part
definitely
of
have
me.
to. Yeah, 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 we definitely have to let go and then listen. In that spaciousness, we listen, and then we have the intuition to say, like, oh, turn the baby this way, or for the adult human to say, open up this book, or go to the cafe and you're gonna, you know, meet somebody, or yeah. So that's just really, really beautiful parallel with the
with
birth and the rebirth
with
conversation
life.
with life. Yeah,
With beauty of life.
yeah, yeah. So beautiful. And I mean, there's so many directions to go from here. You're literally sitting in the space where you birth,
Birth house.
the birth house. It's just
Yes.
amazing. It's just absolutely amazing.
It's called Granny's Hood because, you know, wise people, I love wise people. I never, I never, I never liked that word that they're old people.
Mm,
We are wise people when we're getting wise, when we take some time in this life. And I think the wise people, the grannies and grandpas, they're such a gift for new generation.
yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And I agree, like labeling, I'm really onto this whole, like, the age and the number, and even how we put in a box how long our lifespan could be, and what aging has to look
Mhm.
like. And yeah, I think that's going to be a part of, maybe we'll save that for another conversation, but that's,
I can tell you also I don't know, a little my research because of the journey of birth and death. and life in between, which is the most beautiful part. Um, but you know, when the baby is born, they are very like the skin is with wrinkles and they can't see
Mm,
proper and they have no teeth and they are in this fetal position, all curved. And then when you get into the another part, the wise people, when they get to the end of their life, they're getting again curved
mm.
in the fetus position, the teeth falling out, they 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 lose their teeth, they started to see blurry, they started to want more milky food.
Yes. Yeah, the full circle.
The full circle, and then you really see this rebirth, you know, so vivid. It's just there. It's hard not to see when you really pay attention. And you know, when the kid is born, they have these crazy wise eyes.
Mm,
Sometimes I think that they still remember their
absolutely.
past life. And when the person goes away, the vision gets blurry, and you know they keep forgetting their
Uh-huh.
this life that they had and being prepared for the another one.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that
Incredible.
with the people that I've been the death doula for. The eyes just they're off and engaged in, starting to acquaint themselves with the other realm and being welcomed by, the
Exactly,
spirits
being
on the other
welcomed.
side.
It's just that this is where you are accepted.
Mhm.
And you're not in the box and you're accepted and you wide and expanded and you don't
Yeah.
have to be afraid of anything. It's
No,
beautiful.
it is. It is beautiful. Beautiful. I want to honor the fact too that you are starting a school for
Academy.
an academy. Yes, please talk about it because I see a growing awareness for more mothers and fathers, families who want to go the route that is more traditional, more natural way of birthing their families into the world. And yeah, I'd love to give you space to talk about this important work and
Yeah,
what you're
thank
doing.
you. It's quite hard. It's quite hard to birth this baby for me, but I'm trying my
I
best.
hear you.
I'm trying my best, but also it's a art of midwifery, and I'm
Mm,
kind of the network of beautiful teachers that I had the honor to know in the world. So we will have this amazing staff of teachers, the most
amazing.
beautiful, the most amazing ones. And if somebody of you guys feel the calling of midwifery, of birth world, in Lithuania, traditional midwifery is still alive,
So
very
great.
alive, and people were just keep on telling me that I have to keep on doing this and I have to birth this baby of the art of ac- uh, the Academy of the Midwifery Art.
Mm, beautiful. Yeah,
So
that's
if somebody's interested, it's very easy. It's www.iamamidwife.net.
like VVV. Okay. VVV, I am a midwife.net.
.net. It's like I am a midwife network.
Okay, perfect. That sounds wonderful.
So there will be more information, and we're launching in the end of September with full program. It's gonna be 10 full moons as a pregnancy last,
Wow.
10 full moons. So it will be interesting journey, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see my new students.
That's so great. I wish you the most success and just an aligned opportunities for you. I know that I really feel like it would be beautiful to have like financial support for that type of work that I mean, here in Canada, people can go to a hospital and
Yeah.
get birth, and then, then other alternatives is out of their pocket. I think there's some programs, but I mean, support for the midwives themselves and also families that want to choose that might not be able to have the financial means to do so. Because I have in my journal, our friend that we met in Bali who was
Yes.
becoming the birth doula gave us this sticker.
Yes.
Yeah. The gentle birth heals Mother Earth. It's just a beautiful thing to say. I mean, and
It's a
to realize.
it's a sentence of Ibura bin Lim that has a clinic in Ubud in Bali, and she's a beautiful midwife. Won the CNN award on 2011, I think, in 2011, because it was some disaster happened in Indonesia or in the
Mm,
Philippines, and she was really helping mothers in the tents, giving birth with no resources,
wow.
and so she saved a lot of lives. And
Wow.
yeah, this sentence also, "Gentle birth heals Mother Earth," I used also on my
Mm,
website.
beautiful.
If you will open this website, you can see in front page
Mm,
this
yeah,
flying sentence of love.
yeah. And it just speaks to like what you said about space, giving space, just allowing, and that energy of coming in with that intention of being received, of being accepted as you are. Like I love the stories you would share. You said you love when babies come out bum first.
Yeah, that's my
I
favorite ones.
Yeah, I know. You get so excited about that. And it's so interesting because I never, like, I'm not in that world. And all I've known in my programming is that it's dangerous. The baby has to come out head first and all of these things that they tell you. And then here I'm meeting you and you're like, no, it's the best. It's the
I really
best.
love when they, show the bum first to this world. Like, it's such an attitude.
Yeah, and it just speaks to like, we all come in come into this world so uniquely, and that concept of that gentle birth healing our earth is speaks to this, going back to what I was saying about that acceptance of having space versus like a lot of and
Connection with the
connection.
nature, also listening to the
Yes.
nature. Mm,
Yes, the connection with the nature, the connection with the community,
mm.
versus the ways, the modern way of a lot of times like, okay, we're going to schedule you in for this time, and if you can't fit in our window, then we're going to have to force it. And
Yeah, because we're super disconnected from the nature. That's the problem.
yeah,
We put ourselves in the boxes
yeah,
with the lights,
yeah,
and we're afraid of the nature. Uh, I told somebody that I was going into nature alone, and I slept in the night in the hammock, alone. And somebody told me, "Oh, nobody would ever like pay me to do that."
wow, yeah,
And this is how we live now. We're afraid of the nature. We're afraid of nature, which is like our friend, our giver, our like, oh, just take me, eat me. I'm here for you, blooming, you
yeah,
know? Fruits, take me, eat me, seed me,
yeah, witness me.
witness me, love me.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it's just nothing to be afraid of, and we're afraid of beauty. What?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
I know. Beauty, the beauty way. The beauty way, I just love. That's been such a part of my journey and my adulthood, is having this understanding that what we focus on, like where we're focusing our light, like we only have so much that we can interpret and metabolize, in this whole infinite space that we call this world, and where we put our focus and our attention, that's what expands in our world. And so I remember coming across the Navajo, the tribe of the Navajo, and they have the prayer of the beauty way,
Mm.
and just deciding like, okay, if I don't really know what my purpose is, and I'm getting stuck in my mind, or I don't know my direction, it's like you can just focus on beauty. The beauty is everywhere, and the more you focus on the beauty, the more it expands in our world. And that's yeah, that's been a big focus for me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, I could tell you you know the Dr. Zach Bush.
Yeah, I was just thinking of him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because he's talking
He does the
about
same thing.
a lot about beauty versus like it is equal love, and that we are the only species that stop for sunsets or
Mm,
sunrises, and we go for
mm,
sunrises, and we admire the nature that nobody else in the animal world, they don't do that. They just walking past, living their instincts. And this planet created a human being that is seeing the beauty of the nature. Oh my God, that is beautiful. I mean,
yeah.
and you cannot hold for a long a feeling of love. It's just, the emotion that passed through very fast. But when you're witnessing beauty, it amplifies your emotion of love. And
Yes.
it's like it it can be very long then. And you just keep on witnessing beauty, and then you're being lovable, and then you love just witnessing the beauty in the other person, witnessing the
Hmm.
beauty in the sunset, in the sunrise,
Yes.
in everything, in the
Yeah.
death, in the birth,
In the death, in the birth, in the rebirth, in the grief.
and
Like you just lost your beloved cat, and you're showing up so beautifully because you're just being where you are. And I honor you. I think you're a beautiful woman, and
oh,
you're
thank you,
doing
you too. I love
beautiful
you a
work.
lot.
Oh, yeah. And I was thinking of Zach Bush too, because I've recently seen him change and start to speak more about the beauty. And he had spent a big part of his career focusing on showing the world the science of like what we've been doing to our earth and our soil,
Yeah.
and trying to get people to see like what we're doing. And it's such a great switch for all of us to think like, okay, this is science and head stuff and digging up truth. It is true. Like all of this stuff is true, but we're putting our focus and trying to prove. And as he's said and proven over all these years, it hasn't changed anything for him. No one's listening. No one cares. Nobody knows what to do. And so I just love that he's gone to this simplicity of, I'm just going to show you the beauty. I'm just going to show you the beauty. And what is the simple, what I'm learning in my life is beautiful. Like coming back to the simplicity,
Mm.
and yeah, just focusing on the beauty. And what if
On the
all
blessings
of
and the
and beauty and the blessings, and even seeing beauty in grief, and beauty in death, and beauty in rebirth, as we're saying, this could change the world.
yes, beauty in grief. I love my grief. I love grief. It's like so soft in a way, I feel like
Hmm.
in the womb it expands my heart for more love, for more
Yeah,
beauty,
yeah.
vulnerability. Oh, grief is so beautiful. I love my grief.
Me too. I'm I'm so with you on that. That alone is a powerful conversation as well. We're coming up to an hour, and I don't put a
Mm,
time on these things, but it does feel like a good sort
okay.
of place to end. But I would like to give you space if there's anything kind of that you feel like, oh, I'd love to share this, or I'd love to expand on this one little thing?
Maybe I want to promote the origin of Zach Bush.
Sure. I know you have a deep love for Zach Bush, as I do as well. I mean, he's an amazing man.
And
If you don't know his work, definitely go
yes,
check it out.
yes, it's a beautiful person, and he's doing the beautiful work of origin.
Mm,
And it's going to happen on October 17, and he's um, doing kind of a little network of the globe, uh, with the music, with beauty of the music,
mm,
and with indigenous culture. So Lithuania also will be there,
mm.
and doing a ritual uh, in
Wow.
the altar, on the altar with the fire and with Lithuanian traditional folk songs.
Amazing. Is this
So
happening online, or can
it's
you go
going to
physically?
happen online because it's going to be all the world
Oh,
involved.
okay. I want to be there myself as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
October 17 origin.
Okay.
Let's meet up
Let's meet up. Okay.
in
If
the
you feel
music.
in the call and the music and the beauty, yeah, we'll be there. So thank you so much, Ingela, for sharing your time and your beautiful energy.
Yeah, please being connected with music and beauty of this world and nature, and everything will be fine.
Beautiful. Okay. We'll see you again. Bye, everyone.